push week schedule. Here's what I suggest. Schedule and plan every single minute of every single day of the entire push week. Schedule and plan every minute of the entire push week, every single day. It's 100 times easier to focus on what you need to do when you actually have the plan done in advance. Guys, the best time to make phone calls, Saturday morning from 10:30 to like 2 o'clock in the afternoon is a great window to make calls. And then Sunday afternoon from like 4 o'clock after people get home from church and lunch and stuff, all the way through 9 o'clock at night. If you could make 100 phone calls Saturday and 100 phone calls on Sunday, guarantee you're going to have your best week ever, your best order ever, your best day ever, and your best push week ever. You know, my favorite part about my phone times during that push week was that I could make phone calls for half an hour, and literally get 2 or 3 appointments set up, and I was okay with that because that's all I needed to do. Maybe I had one more appointment the next day, a couple more appointments that I needed to get filled in, you know, a couple days down the road, and my schedule was always packed. It was always booked full of appointments all the way through the entire push week. Live by this question. Guys, when you're driving between appointments, live by this question. When you catch yourself doubting if you can hit the goal, live by this question. Live by this question when you're closing the deal, when you're writing up an order, when you're calling a past customer, when you're waking up, or when you're going to bed. Live by this question. Ask yourself this question 100 times a day for 14 days straight, and you'll be amazed at the answers you'll come up with along the way. Here's the question. What am I doing right now to generate CPO? What am I doing right now to generate CPO? Guys, if you ask yourself this driving between every appointment, you're going to be amazed at the ideas that you come up with. You'll think of those customers that you were supposed to call back a month ago to get an order from because you did a demo for them 2 months ago that you forgot to call back. Right? When you ask yourself this question 100 times a day for 14 days straight, you can't avoid finding cool, creative answers. You may think of that relative that you never called, or that business gift lead that you need to follow up with. Right? You may think of that past customer who said, hey, I want to buy an Ultimate. The next, like as soon as I'm done paying off my 5-pay from this, galley set. Right? You may think of all sorts of different things. Right? I remember one of the answers I came up with was at the very end of the push week. I've been asking myself this many times, every day of the push, throughout the entire push. I got to the very last day, and I was a little bit away from hitting my goal, and I was like, what am I doing right now to generate CPO? And my first answer was, well, I'm thinking about giving up, because it's almost the end of the day, right? And I was like, no. What's a better answer? And I was like, you know what? One thing I've never done is call all my past customers to see if they will help me out for a push week. Right? So I sat down, and I started calling customers. I did that for 4 hours, and I ended up hitting my goal for the push. You'd be amazed at the answers that you'll come up with. Here's a simple thing. If you're not sleeping, you should be generating CPO. If it's too early or too late to make calls, then send some emails. If it's too late to call your customers here, then call your customers on the West Coast. Right? If it's too early to make phone calls, call customers that you have on the East Coast. Learn the virtual demo and get virtual demos set up with people that you don't know from all around the company or all around the country. The point is this, guys. Work when others aren't working. I know people who sold homemakers and Ultimates at 4 o'clock in the morning because they were sitting with people who were working in the ER overnight. Guys, there's so many cool creative ways that you can come up with how to sell Cutco. During a push week, those are the times to do it because you're going after something big, something you've never tried to do before. It's the best time to come up with those cool creative ideas. I know people have gone knocking on their neighbors' doors and just said, hey, I've been living in your neighborhood for 5 years. What's your name? Great, nice to meet you. We're neighbors. How about that? Hey, here's what I'm doing. You don't have to, buy anything, but will you let me come in and show it to you because it'll help me out towards this big contest that I'm in. Right? Get out of your comfort zone. Do something you've never done before, and you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Think big, act big, right? Believe big, and you'll get big results.